gets that one to go. And Adam Hyatt in his 6th season at Montana Tech.
He had a great career at Westminster back when Westminster was in the Frontier Conference, way back in the day.
Caleb Bellish works it up quickly. Darius, they almost lost it. Hughes, 3 on the way. Drew Hughes, that is just his 9th 3 on the year. And Tech up 5 early in the first half from the Hyper Complex. Darius's pink shoes, they do glow in the dark.
They are fantastic.
You gotta love that. Cook on the drive. Can't get the layup. Does draw the foul, and he's gonna get 2 at the line. And to the free throw line will be Andrew Cook, 6'4" freshman out of Huntington Beach, California. A 76% free throw shooter on the season for Cook. Got that one to go. 4-point lead for Montana Tech. Cook, he had 20 points against Northern, career high. Goes 1 for 2.
He had a pretty good dunk the other night, too. Him and Diallo both in their respective games.
Diallo down low. England, glass, yes! Taylor England averages a dozen, and it's a 6-point lead for the Diggers of Tech, the top 2 teams in a Frontier. They're both 6-1 in conference play on the year. Long to Cook. Jovan will drive past England.
Man.
Wow, it was so impressive. Jovan Slovakinen.
He is fired up, too, as he comes back down the.
And Jovan's got 7 of his team's 8 points.
Diallo
with the 3. Diallo lights that one up. How about a 7-point lead for Tech with 15:22 left to be played here in the first.
Butte Auto believes in giving to a brighter future.
The support that Montana Tech gets from Butte Auto providing scholarships for students is incredibly impactful, because what it does is it provides opportunities for students that they wouldn't have otherwise.
If it wasn't for local businesses like Butte Auto, I wouldn't have been able to go to college to achieve my dream of becoming a nurse.
For us to be able to have a partner like Butte Auto is phenomenal.
Grit's something that I learned early in my family. It was a great part of the Montana Tech experience.
Grit makes me think about how Butte came about. It was built on the hard work mentality.
It goes back to just being a Montanan. There's a rancher, a farmer in everybody's family.
Grit is just part of life there.
Rolling up your sleeves and doing the work necessary.
And that's where grit comes in. Understanding where you want to do and really following the passion that you have in life.
Grit grows at Montana Tech.
Sindhu Diallo knocking down the triple before Carroll's timeout, giving Tech a 7-point lead, Rocky. And both teams, like I said, they know what's at stake in this game. The winner has the inside track towards the conference championship. But if Carroll wins this game, they've got a 2-game lead over Tech. There's still a lot of basketball left to play, 8 conference games or so. But this is a big one tonight.
Montana Tech 3 for 3 on threes. Early in this game, they're 5 of 7 from the field, and they've got a 7-point lead. Campbell gives it up to Hillman. Long with it up on top, and they leave it free for Jovan to do his thing, and he does just that, and Jovan draws the foul on the drive. Well, without OKK in the lineup, Jovan's going to have to step up the offensive bit, and he's done just that.
He has so far with the 7 of the 8 points. He's going to shoot a couple of free throws here, but you also look at a guy like Shamrock Campbell, who is capable of putting up 20 or more at any given time. Brendan Temple down on the inside, too. I mean, this is a team that will spread the ball around. They know who the best player is, obviously, in Jovan, who misses the first one. But this is a well-balanced team. In fact, both teams are well-balanced. That's why they're both 6-1 in the league.
Jovan with 7 points in the game, 7 of his team's 8, and he goes 1 for 2. Great start for the Diggers of Montana Tech. They're shooting lights out here in the first half. Diallo lost his dribble. Bake in the game for the first time. Larson is in from Sidney, Montana. Bridger Larson takes it down low, and Bridger Larson is going to go to the free throw line.
Drew the block. Could have gone either way, but I believe Pedro was in that horseshoe.
Bridger Larson will get 2. Played his high school ball for the Sydney Eagles. Coming up on February 19th, I'll be in Miles City, the Hall of Fame MC of the Miles Community College Hall of Fame banquet. Mike Gear, famed Sydney football coach, will be inducted. All he did is win. His team won 7 state championships in a row, a record that'll never, ever be broken. When you think of great Montana high school sports records, to me, that one's number 1.
Yeah, that one's up there. Well, right here in Butte, 12 straight wrestling titles for Coach Street. Is that right?
Yep.
13 maybe?
That's another record that'll never, it was 13, another record that'll never be broken. And I'll tell you what, Jovan, deep 3.
Wow.
Oh, man.
He is feeling it.
Jovan Slovakinen. Can you believe it? 11 of his team's 12. Cuts the lead to 4. Diallo. Caleb Bellish made the save before it goes on the other end. And Bellish from 15. And guess who got the rebound? Jovan coming back the other way. And Jovan's high this year. Well, he had 27 on Thursday, his second 27-point game this year. He had 26 twice, and Long forced that shot. Tech with the ball in the 4-point lead with 13:40 left to be played here in the first half. Caleb Bellish cuts within 2 players, and you can't do that.
Yeah, that was a definite charge on that one, and trying to split the double team, and ended up running Long over.
Boy, is he a nice player.
Yeah.
Big-time player in the Frontier. How about Brennan Howard being back?
Oh,
going home at Providence. Started Eastern Washington, MSU Billings. Earlier this year, he was at North Dakota, scored 18 against the Grizz, and now he's at Providence and getting 25-10 a night.
Well, if there's a coach in the NAI that was going to find any loophole, it was going to be Steve Keller. I talked to him on my radio show podcast the other day, and he goes, "I didn't even know you could play for 2 teams in 1 year."
That's what I thought.
But there was some rule that he was able to find and get Brendan Howard back.
Well, you know, when Brendan Howard played for his dad, Bob Howard, at Great Falls High, his freshman year, I went to Bob Howard and I said, "Your son will be the first AA player to score 2,000 points in a career." There's Jovan knocking down a 3, 11 of the 12 points in the game for Jovan, and Brendan Howard did become he's the only AA player to score 2,000 points in a career. He also averaged 10 rebounds a game and 20 points a game over 4 years. Steve Keller, everybody makes a big deal of 300 wins in the Frontier, which is impressive, but 910 wins coaching, 610 wins in high school. That's another record never be broken.
I said, "Coach, you've been around a while." He goes, "That's just a nice way of saying I'm old."
4-point lead for Tech.
Don't be surprised if this might be Coach Keller's last year.
Jovan forces it, and Jovan gets fouled. And I've done a lot of Carroll games the last 2 years. I've never seen Jovan Slovakinen work this hard.
Yeah, well, he's got a couple of players not in uniform today, and he's got to take over, and he knows that. And good players know when it's their time.
You know who I heard during right after that foul, the one, the only, Bob Green.
Oh, you know when Bob Green's in the house.
I love Bob Green.
Oh, he's great.
Bob Green Field.
Just over to the Parkway over here.
Jovan, 12 points in the game. He had 27 on Thursday, a season high. Cuts the lead down to 3 here. Diallo, right side.
Oh, great.
Down low. What a bucket by Mr. Sidney. Bridger Larson. And it's a 5-point lead for Tech. Coming up on our First Interstate Bank halftime show, we'll visit with Mr. Les Cook, Chancellor here at Montana Tech. I can see you as a Chancellor someplace someday, Jason.
No, thank you.
Walk against Campbell. We're going to head back the other way.
You know, if Kent Paulson ever retires as the commissioner of the Frontier, maybe I'll go for that.
That's an idea. Well, you know, Kurt Paulson promised me that when Notre Dame calls and he becomes the head coach, then he takes me with him as his play-by-play announcer. And I'm waiting.
Wow.
We'll see if that's going to happen. He's got a lot better shot at that job than I do as an announcer job.
I don't know. It's you're like 9-time sportscaster of the year in the state of Montana.
Collins. England.
Those two are so good together.
Darius with the 3, no. Carroll's going to clear the boards. Campbell's going to bring it up, and Shamrock says, where's Jovan? Jovan's on the bench. Who's going to score now? The ball is slapped out. Jovan Slavakinen with 12 of his team's 13 points.
Well, this is a time where Shamrock can take over scoring. You also have Brendan Temple down low. Cook back out there as well.
Campbell. Temple. Cook from 15. No.
A little strong, but he had the look.
Big rebound for Lawrence. Tech back the other way. What a drive by Lawrence. He's going to kick it out. Darius Collins with the 3, no. Offensive rebound for Tech. Take it away. Nice steal. Garrett Long, the freshman out of Washington. Saints are down 5 here. They've only lost 2 games out of 21 all season. Chan, 3-pointer is in. And Lowell Chan out of Las Vegas, that's just his second 3 all season. Taken away. Cook coming back the other way.
Well, defense leads to offense in a lot of different sports. In basketball, more so than any.
Chan again. That one's going to be an air ball. Tech on the rebound. You got a 3-point game with 11:10 to go. Well, back on January 6th at Helena, Carroll won a close game, 80-78. Bake inside. Great pass to England. Count the basket and the foul. Taylor England.
I believe the statistic is the last 7 matchups between these two teams, the home team has won.
Carroll's won 18 of the last 23 overall.
Well, there was a time they owned Tech, especially when Carson Cunningham was the coach.
England gets that one to go. A 6-point lead for the Diggers, the top 2 teams in the Frontier battle here in Butte. They're both 6-1, and Jovan stays on the bench. Campbell working hard.
Nice steal there by Collins. Came and knocked it away from behind. That help side defense.
And that is a moving screen. And that foul will go against Caleb Bellish.
We've had more fouls in the first 9 minutes and 20 seconds of this men's game than I think we did combined in the women's game.
We also set a record for travel in a women's game. Shamrock Campbell's going to bring it up. 10.5 left to be played. Here in this first half, look who's back in. Jovan backs his way in, gets it slipped out. Shamrock makes the save. Back to Jovan Slavakinen. 12 points in a game for Jovan. 12 of his team's 15. Lowell Chan doesn't get a lot of playing time. He's in early in this game. The ball is slapped out, and Carroll's going to keep with just 3 seconds on the shot clock here. And Rob Tesh visiting with the Tech bench and the subs, and we did get a photo with Rob Tesh and I. It's kind of a tradition. If Rob Tesh is in the stripes and I'm announcing the game, then we take a selfie. 6-point lead for the Diggers of Montana Tech.
This is Mountain Dew. A rush of crisp and refreshing flavor. Delivering a bold citrus kick. Do the Dew.
At Opportunity Bank, this is our 100th year of serving Montana. To celebrate, we're going to tell 100 stories, share 100 lessons, and give 100 gifts. We're calling it the Big 100. It's a celebration of this community, the good people who live here, and the businesses we've helped build. Visit us at opportunity100.com to join the celebration. Here's to the next 100 years.
Sandwiches, better with Pepsi.
Boy, what a game, Jason. Two teams that match up really well against each other.
Yeah, they definitely do. And, defensively, you've got the right personnel on the right personnel for the other team. And offensively, you've got prolific scorers and guys that can handle the ball. And that's what you want.
Hillman kicks it out to Shamrock. Cook. Jovan will drive. He's triple teamed. And with the walk, I mean, everybody knows who's going to get the ball, and they triple teamed him.
Yeah, and Jovan's got to be a little bit more aware of that and dish it out. If you've got three guys on you, somebody's open. In fact, two somebodies are open.
6-point lead for Tech. Belly swings to left side. Hughes slapped out, loose ball. Chen on the steal. Shamrock Campbell will bring it up. Cook. They're going to have more scores than just Jovan if they're going to come out on top of this one.
Yep.
And when he went out, they only had 3 points as a team. Hillman. Johnny Hillman to back out. Shamrock three-pointer, in and out, no go. And up and over the back, Hillman. That's not a foul, is it? Up and over the back.
Well, no. On the back is a foul. Over the back is not. The official call. Mr. Tesh explained that to you.
Oh, I know he did. Adam Hyatt, in his 6th season, head coach at Montana Tech. And the free throw line will be Drew Hughes, the 6'2 junior out of Bozeman.
Are there any more Hughes brothers coming up?
Boy, I mean, I thought we've had a lot of them, and now they shot a free throw, and now they're going to do the inbounds.
And technical called.
Wow. Tea time here at the Hyper Complex, and Rob Tesh was visiting with that young man on the way down the court. Caleb Bellish. Diallo. They go down low. England. And Bellish works against Jovan. What a move. And a whistle and a foul late. That's going to go against the Saints of Carroll College. And, boy, Caleb Bellish. I mean, watch this move up against one of the very best players in the Frontier, and what a nice drive.
Yeah, it was a great drive. He couldn't convert it. He wanted it.
Caleb Bellish averaging 15 points a game. Was with the Bobcats a year ago. 2019 State High School Championship, 83-51 over Arley. 42 points for Caleb Bellish as his team won a perfect 26-0.
I was down at the Metra. I got there the next week to set up for the NAI tournament, and they still had the score at the Metra on the scoreboard. I took a picture and sent it off to Caleb, and it was pretty awesome.
8-point lead for Tech. Shamrock to Cook. Hillman thought about a three. Hillman lowers his shoulder, drives inside. No, Jovan with the tip. Jovan again. Count the basket and the foul.
Oh.
Are they going to count the basket or not?
Well, one ref said no, and Tesh is saying, the other official saying yes. So, yes, 3-point play coming up.
And Jovan with 14 points in a game becomes out of the contest, averaging 20. And earlier this week named to the Bevo Francis watch list. If you wonder who Bevo Francis was, he played for Rio Grande College, NAIA. And during the 1952-53 season, he averaged 50 points a game.
Yeah,
and that included a 116-point game.
He was pretty good.
Bevo was a scoring machine. Never did play in the NBA. Right side, Hughes.
Well, you know, you go to the NAIA tournament down in Kansas City, and the history at Memorial or Municipal Auditorium down there, and the players that have been through there.
Cook with the steal. Hillman with the layup, he missed it.
He tried to get fancy and reversed it, and instead of just going right at it, put it in.
You're on the rebound, and Tech throws it away. 8:03 to go here in the first half, 23-18. Tech up 5 on the First Interstate Bank halftime show. Les Cook, Chancellor here at Montana Tech. Kurt Paulson, head coach at Carroll College, fourth season, 92-27. Unbelievable. Short-handed for this one. Long to Cook. Shamrock Campbell, Jovan's going to back his way in. He's swinging out, 3 on the way. Pedro misses it. Pedro out of Brazil. He is an amazing three-point shooter, 19 of 27 on the year. That's 70% on threes coming into this game. And the reverse layup's not going to go. I think Jovan got a partial block on that one. And that is not a partial block.
That's a big block at the other end. Cody Baumstark. He's listed at 6'8".
Baumstark, that was impressive, out of Sheridan, Wyoming.
He's listed at 6'8", but someone told me before the game he's all of 6'9 plus.
And how about Sheridan College not having sports anymore?
Yeah, Sheridan and Northwest, right?
No, it's not Northwest. It was Gillette.
Gillette and Sheridan, right?
Sister colleges, they got rid of their entire athletic program. Jovan with a 3-0. Tech on the rebound. Tech up 5. 7 minutes left to be played here in the first half.
Scoring's really settled down here over the last few minutes until.
Diallo with a drive.
Yeah, Sindhu Diallo is pretty amazing. Athletic. You know, he's only 6'3". Came from Western Texas College, transfer.
He got to the hole quickly.
Very speedy.
Tech up by 7. Cook spins. Jovan, 3. No.
A little hard on that one, but Campbell
offensive rebound. On the drive, no, with the block. And Cook wanted the foul, not going to get it. And we're heading back the other way.
Well, it was a little interesting. His body was going one way when he went up for the basket, and then he landed a different way.
Diallo gets his own rebound off a missed 3, and Diallo drives in and gets fouled.
Tension's pretty high, both coaches.
Watch that, Diallo, great hustle to get the rebound, and Diallo
it almost
goes
like
up
he
and
lost
gets
that.
fouled.
I think he lost it on the way up before the foul, but officials down there giving it a call. Kurt Paulson really going after the officials right now.
7-point lead for Tech, 6 minutes, 8 seconds left to be played here in the first half. I'd like to thank our Frontier Conference sponsors. Our corporate sponsors include Cooper Tire, Tire-Rama, D.A. Davidson, Hotels, McDonald's, Northwestern Energy, Pepsi, and U.S. Bank. Our Frontier Conference corporate sponsors. We're at the Hyper Complex on the campus of Montana Tech in Butte. Rocky Erickson alongside Jason Walker 6 minutes, 8 seconds left to be played. Here in the first half, 7-point lead for the Diggers. And these are the top two teams in the Frontier Conference. They're both 6-1. Only one Frontier Conference men's team is nationally ranked, and that's Carroll, 6-1. And the rankings come out every 2 weeks, not every week.
Yeah, they did that a couple of years ago, Rocky. They made the switch to get more of a body of work in, you get 4 games instead of 2 that you're judging on, because, anything could happen. You have the number 1 team in the conference might lose a game on a Thursday, but then go 3-0 over the next 3 games. Well, do they really deserve to drop based off that one loss when they won 3 in a row? So it's more of a body of work as a whole, and I like the change.
Diallo at the free throw line, and he gets the first one to go, leads his team, averaging more than 15 points a game, and he's got 7 points in this game. Him and England each with 7. The lead is 8 for Tech, and Diallo gets that one to go as well. Tech 9-1 at home. They lost the College of Idaho 64-59 the last 2 years here at the Hyper Complex. The Diggers are 17-4. Home court advantage in basketball, it's the real thing.
Especially in the Frontier, where every team on every given night is good. And that's what Shamrock Campbell needs to do.
Wow.
He's a great three-point shooter, but he also can drive and do that little 5-foot riser.
The 11th leading scorer in the Frontier Conference this season. Baumstock. Bake. There's a deep, deep three. No. Shamrock Campbell will clear the boards. They've got numbers. Now Shamrock's going to slow things up.
What Campbell's really good at, too, Shamrock Campbell, is a couple of dribble drive real quick to the elbow and rise from 15 and hit. And now he's posting up, which is interesting. But he's, like I said, he's strong. He can handle it.
Jovan, back out. Hillman, long three. Offensive rebound, Shamrock Campbell.
He came from the other side of the court, the other corner, to get that rebound on this side of the floor.
Jason, Jovan Solakinen is working so hard. Somebody else has to be open. Jovan here on the drive, and he kicks it out to Pedra, but they're keying on him, so somebody has to get open.
We mentioned it when he turned it over on that triple team is, if there's more than one guy on you, if you see that double team or triple team coming, find the open person, and that's what Jovan did on that drive. And that's a lot of the dribble drive offense, what it's based on. You drive and kick.
And Jovan misses for the free throw line. He's got 15 points. The rest of the Saints have 5, under 5 minutes left to be played. Here in the first half from big crowd for a big game, and why not?
Yep.
Top 2 teams in the Frontier are battling here. Caleb Bellish with it up on top to Bank. Lawrence on the baseline works against Jovan, and it's not going to count. Lawrence pushed off and got the offensive foul, and they are calling this game tight.
Yeah, they definitely are, and I think you have to early to set the tone, just so things don't get out of hand.
I don't know about that one.
That was just it looked like some good contact, both players.
7-point game, 4.5 to go.
Cam Lawrence was on those Hellgate teams that were so loaded back in the day. He was almost
forgotten about.
Yeah, he was like the 4th or 5th guy because they had so many great players.
Caleb Bellish brings it up quickly. Down low to England, players down, and it's not going to be a blocking fall against Shamrock.
It is.
Okay.
I don't understand that one.
England and
he was
Shamrock,
outside of the horseshoe, too. I don't understand it.
A lot of contact there.
Wow.
And Campbell, England rather, back at the free throw line, is 76% free throw shooters, got 7 points in the game. He's 1 for 1 in the contest here. England gets that one to go. Carroll comes in averaging 76. They have just 20 points here in this first half. Taylor England goes 1 for 2.
A lot of missed free throws here in the early going for both teams.
Jovan, 6 rebounds to go with his 15 points. Long, under 4 minutes left to be played here in the first half.
Oh, great drive.
Hillman, what a drive. Wow.
He got a little help on the outside, nice screen, and he used it and took it right to the rack. Strong finish there for Johnny Hillman.
We got a 6-point game, 3:41 left to be played in the first half. At the half, Les Cook, Chancellor of Montana Tech. That is a chance for a 4-point play for the Diggers of Montana Tech. Keely Bake out of Fairfield, the 5'11 freshman, hit the three, his 27th, and then Bake gets fouled, and a chance for a very rare 4-point play, and a free throw here for Bake would put the Diggers up by 10.
Just a silly foul. You've got to know better. I mean, you can close out, but you've got to be in control. And a silly foul committed there.
32-22. Tech. Saints will bring it up. Cook. Shamrock. Jovan Slavakinen lost it. They're going to double up on Jovan again. Somebody else has got to be open. Shamrock. Great defense for Tech. 6 on the shot clock here. Jovan works against Bellish, rises, fires, no. Jovan gets his own rebound, putback is in. No one on this court is working harder than number 21, Jovan Slavakinen. He has been simply outstanding here. Bellish works his way in the paint, turnaround jumper, no. Jovan, another rebound. 32-24 here in the first half.
He's going to have a double-double by the end of the first half, baby. He's got 8 rebounds already.
Temple working hard.
Strong move, though. But Taylor England's just as strong at the other end. Oh,
Diallo,
great feed.
what a pass on the inside, and what a finish by Keely Bake. Wow. Great reverse layup by Bake out of Fairfield. And the Diggers are back up by 10 late here in the first half. Cook kicks it out to Hillman. And a whistle and a foul on the play. And that's going to go against Diallo. Wow.
Yep, they're calling it tight, but calling it equal.
Johnny Hillman, free throw line. Jovan, 17 points, 8 rebounds in the first half here. Hillman's an 80% free throw shooter. Usually when you say that, they miss.
Right? The curse of the announcer.
Big crowd on hand here at the Hyper Complex on the campus of Montana Tech. Hillman gets them both to go.
You know, there was games early on when I was doing radio 8 years ago that there'd be nobody here for a men's game. That's how bad it was. But Adam Hyatt has turned things around.
Diallo cross court, and there's Bake, unable to get that shot off. Christian Jones out of Laurel is in the game for the first time. Basketball Jones with the three. That's just his 4th three all season for Basketball Jones out of Laurel. The lead is 11, 37-26, 90 seconds left to be played here in the first half. Jovan kicks it back out. Cook from the baseline. And Carroll just trying to stay in this one. 37-28 Tech. A minute 22 left to be played in the first 20 minutes. What a great college game back on January 6th in Helena. Carroll won 80-78. Carroll led at the break in that game, 44-37. I'd like to thank our network affiliates for today's game. SWX in Billings, Bozeman, Butte, Great Falls, Helena, Kalispell, Missoula, Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, the Tri-Cities, and Yakima, Washington. We're happy to have you enjoying this game with us, and what a great game it is. As expected, the top two teams in the Frontier Conference, and there's Jones.
I know Jones got the three, but that ball started, they went around the horn twice and then went inside to England before they were able to get back around to Jones for the open three. That's called ball movement, I believe.
Carroll, with great defense, has given up 37 points. Here in the first half, England backs his way in. And Jones has it on the baseline. Jones will drive the layup. Yes. And coming off the bench, Christian Jones. He averages 1.6 a game. He's got 5 points in the last 30 seconds. And the Diggers are back up by 11 here.
Well, Tech's defense has been the key here in the first half. They've won this first half on the defensive end, which has led to points on the offensive side.
Jovan kicks it back. 3 on the way. No. Diallo on the rebound. Diggers up 11. They've got the ball with 30 seconds left to be played in the first half, and the shot clock is off here. What a first half for Montana Tech. They've lost their last 4 against Carroll. They've lost 18 of the last 23. Diallo misses the shot. Jovan the rebound. 8 seconds left. Jovan will drive. Jovan pulls up and scores again. 9-point game. Diallo coast to coast. Count.
How does that happen?
The basket at the buzzer. Nobody jumps in front of him.
How does that happen? You got to get back in transition.
41-30 at the break. Diallo with the layup off the glass and in. Wow.
Since before the birth of America, the Army National Guard has stood ready to answer the call to defend and protect the nation. Army National Guard soldiers share in an enduring commitment to serve their state in times of crisis and defend their nation in times of conflict. The men and women of the Army National Guard serve part-time in their own communities and have a stake in its continued security. To learn all about the benefits of becoming a soldier in the Army National Guard, visit nationalguard.com.
At Rocky Mountain Credit Union, we call this community home, just like you.
That's why we take a locally focused approach for our members.
Your financial success is our primary goal.
Whether you're refinancing your home,
buying a car,
starting a business,
or just need help with your checking or savings account,
we'll give you the financial tools you need to grow.
At Rocky Mountain Credit Union, we're here for all life's events, big and small.
Stop by your local branch or visit rmcu.net to learn more.
I'm excited to be a part of the Butte Auto Group that's providing these scholarships to the local Butte students to take advantage of Montana Tech, one of the greatest schools in the nation. Being from Butte, born and raised, and being a first-generation college student, this really means a lot to me. I know the struggle of paying these loans back. It was not easy. And being a part of somebody that's giving that opportunity to a local Butte student to really follow their dreams and go to college when they may not have had that opportunity just means so much to me.
How about this drive at the buzzer? Diallo with the score, and the Diggers out on top by 11 at the break. 41-30, our first Interstate Bank halftime show. Dr. Les Cook, the Chancellor of Montana Tech. And Dr. Cook, what do you like best about Montana Tech?
Well, I could say the crowds are amazing today. The energy that's in the gym is really exciting, and I think the loyalty and the family that is Montana Tech is what this place is all about.
And you got a couple of new buildings on campus when we drove up here today. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've obviously embraced the older buildings that we had and brought some new things to life here in the last few years with a brand new Student Success Center a couple of years ago. It's really exciting. I think our students really love it. So,
Dr. Cook, when you meet somebody from out of state and they ask you questions about Montana Tech, what are you most proud to tell them about this university?
Well, I talk about our students and how amazing they are and our faculty. I talk about the the great degrees that come out of here, and our students have the opportunity to come here, and the highest retention rate in the state of Montana and the greatest return on investment of any institution in Montana. And that's something that we all should be proud of.
That's fantastic. And how about this game?
Oh,
I mean, the men's basketball team, 6-1 in the Frontier, tied for first place, and up 11 at the break.
Yeah, this game is amazing, and it's the tempo in here on Thursday night was pretty incredible, and I think we've beat it today. So we're excited. It's great to have everybody here, and really proud to see our Orediggers out there doing as well as they're doing. It's awesome.
You know, I have to ask, I mean, one of my favorite people in the whole world is the world-famous Bob Green, and great coach, but he's still here raising money for the athletic department at the university. What does Bob Green mean to Butte America and Montana Tech?
Now, there's nobody out there that's more, I guess, that epitomizes what is Oredigger than Bob Green. And I actually sit next to Bob Green or Coach Green almost every game. And the reason is because he yells really loud, and I yell loud too, but I figure if I'm yelling loud, they blame it on Coach, not me.
Dr. Cook, real briefly for all of our listeners out there, people are thinking of sending their, their student, their son, their grandson to an engineering school. What do you have to say about Tech?
I say send them our way. We're more than happy to help them. We know that we provide a great experience and we provide a great degree program in a lot of different fields, and we're really proud of what our students do here and the great lives that they go on to leave after they graduate.
Dr. Les Cook, Chancellor here at Montana Tech on the First Interstate Bank halftime show. The Diggers up 11 at the break, 41-30.
At Wayland Tire, it's service first, quality always. So stop in today and let us find the right set of Michelin tires for you. If you value longevity, check out the Michelin Defender family, Michelin's longest lasting family of tires on the road. Whether you drive a car, minivan, SUV, or truck, you'll be able to do more for more miles. Come visit our team of experts at Wayland Tire so we can match you with the right tire for the way you drive.
Wayland Tire. We know tires.
It's 7 a.m., and Mike is reading Plato. He's trying to get ahead of the other 6 kids in his ethics class. Pretty soon, he's going to grab some breakfast with his friends. After that, he's meeting with Dr. Klein about his thesis on partial differential equations. Later, he's got a meeting about a possible internship. And after that, practice. Big meet against Montana State tomorrow. He's got a busy week. He's got a busy life. But for right now, it's 7 a.m., and Mike is reading Plato. Carroll College. Not for school, but for life.
Well, the Diggers of Montana Tech are shooting lights out here in the first half, 57%. There's Jovan Slovakinen with the three. Jovan, 2 of 3 on threes. And how about Drew Hughes with the 3? And Tech was unstoppable inside and outside. England with the bucket, and defensively they've been fantastic. That was a huge block by Bumstar. And high on the glass, Johnny Hillman. Bake came off the bench and produced some big scores, and Bake hit 5 points in a row there. He had that 3 and then that reverse layup. Then Christian Jones out of Laurel comes in and goes off. 13 of 23 for Tech in that first half, 57%. They're 5 of 9 on threes. They're 10 of 12 from the free throw line. And Jason Walker, any way you look, I mean, they are outstanding. 1 assist for Carroll College in the first half.
That's something that Kurt Paulson's going to want to change. But you look at the rebounds, pretty even, but 7 offensive rebounds for Carroll. Unfortunately for the Saints, they just haven't been able to convert those. So they're getting them off misses, but not able to convert. And that 2 of 9 from 3 I mean, that's a big difference in this ball game right now is, they're down by 11. They're losing by 9 on the three-point line and 4 at the free throw line.
Well, the rest of the team is 0 for 6 when you got Jovan is 2 for 3. Jovan 7 of 11 from the field and, 19 points in the game with 9 rebounds in the contest, 9 of the 15 rebounds and 19 of the team's 30 points. But as we noticed here, Jason, Jovan can't do it by himself.
No, he can't, and that's where, a guy like a Shamrock Campbell, a senior, he's been a leader for this team for 4 years. He's going to need to step up, and we saw him, take a little bit of charge a couple of times, but you can tell that the offense runs through Jovan Slovančanin, and rightfully so, but other guys have to be, as a coach, you've got to understand that too. When Jovan's getting double or triple teamed, find somebody else to score offensively, and that's got to be a guy like a Shamrock Campbell or a guy like Johnny Hillman, who had a nice drive. But Carroll's been shooting itself in the foot with, silly fouls, some turnovers, and not getting back in transition. I mean, this is a single-digit game at the half if it's not for Diallo getting open and going the length of the floor and a second.
One of the things that Carroll needs to do, I mean, they're double and sometimes triple teaming Jovan Slovančanin, and somebody else has to be open.
Well, that's just it, and that goes back to, Campbell. Shamrock Campbell's great three-point shooter. Career-wise, he's one of the tops in the nation. He always has been since he was a freshman. But can he drive? Can he hit I mentioned, his game for a long time, a dribble drive or two, hit the elbow, the free throw line, and rise and hit a 15-footer. He's got to do things like that. Make Tech change what they're doing defensively, because right now Tech doesn't have to change because it's working. And nobody's hitting a shot for Carroll. When you mentioned they're 0 for 6 from beyond the arc, not somebody named Jovan Slovančanin.
So Carroll prides themselves on great defense, giving up just 62 points a game on the season. They've given up 41 here in the first half, Jason.
Well, and a lot of that is, the outside shooting of Montana Tech. But, Carroll's a step behind, it seems like, on the defensive side, especially on closeouts. And that's something that, they're going to have to clean that up in the second half, too, if they want to get back in this ballgame.
Exciting first half. Dingers out on top by 11, 41-30 here at the break.
I got home from work early, walked in the front door, and immediately felt like I got smacked in the face with a rotten egg. I've smelled a natural gas leak before, so I went right back outside and called Northwestern Energy. They came over immediately. Turns out one of the burners on the stove wasn't turned off all the way, and fumes were filling the room. It's a good thing they add that rotten egg smell to natural gas. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. It's a full-time job keeping these two safe, but with Northwestern Energy's help, it's a little easier.
Well, you shoot 57% in the first half from the field, 5 of 9 on threes, 10 of 12 from the free throw line, and you can be up 11 here at the break, 41-30. Diggers out on top. Both teams are 6-1 in the Frontier Conference, and I'll tell you what, Jason, we're in for an exciting 20 minutes
of
college basketball up next.
At least. No, both these teams playing really well. Tech's going to be ranked when the new poll comes out, I think, next week. There's no question about that. They have to be. But it is surprising that Carroll's the only team. But again, Tech had kind of the weaker non-conference schedule, and that hurt them early on. But, you can only schedule who will come visit you in Montana, and it's hard for these Frontier Conference teams, men or women, to get non-conference games at home. Otherwise, you see these guys traveling all over the country. Carroll and both Tech and Carroll, most of the Frontier went down to the Phoenix tournament, which is every year, but a lot of California trips, a lot of trips out to the East Coast or the West Coast to get games with Cascade Conference teams just to get games and get experience before the brutal Frontier Conference schedule starts. So
it is impressive in the Frontier. It's not just the women's game, but also the men's game as well. I mean, when Kurt Paulson, his first season, 2018 and 19, they played in the national championship game. Billy Drykosen won a national championship at Rocky. Montana Western women won a national championship. So, hey, basketball in the Frontier Conference is alive and well.
It is, and it's just getting better and better too. And you don't have a guaranteed win anymore in the Frontier like you used to. There used to be one or two that you could pick up every year, knowing that. You can't do that anymore. And it's crazy too when you talk about the national championships. Rocky, that was 12 years ago now when Bill Drykosen won. They got back 10 years ago, but they haven't been back since to Kansas City. And the way the NAI does things now with pods, because they combined the two NAI divisions a couple years ago, and that completely took away the luster of the top 32 teams going to Kansas City. Now it's just the top 16. I'd like to see that changed. But, the Frontier with Drykosen, the year that Western won it, Lindsay Woolley on the women's side, they had Brianna King, the best player in the country that year. But, that's the year that I picked Carroll to play Western in the national championship game because that's how good both teams were.
I wouldn't have not been surprised at all.
I wouldn't have either.
So what's Carroll going to have to do to make up the 11-point deficit as the second half gets underway here?
Well, find somebody other than Jovan Slavanchin to score and then get some stops defensively. That's where it's going to start for Carroll, is on the defensive end.
Temple's going to work down low, gets it slapped out. Temple's going to try it again. Rises and fires, and an out, no go.
Good defense there by Taylor England. Never gave up ground.
Belich swings it inside to England. Back out. Caleb with the three. Shamrock Campbell on the rebound. Tech up 11 at the break. Cook. Temple. Hillman on the drive. Nobody stops him. Nobody got in front of Johnny Hillman.
Well, that was the drive he had in the first half that was very similar. And he needs to do more of that. But then you got to come up with stops defensively. And Caleb Belich, too strong there through two Saints.
That was an impressive baseline drive by Belich. And the Diggers back up by 11. Temple is going to go up strong again and can't quite get to finish. England clears the boards. Diallo will swing it back to Darius.
Darius Collins, another one of those great Missoula players.
Collins goes up, no. Shamrock on the rebound. An 11-point lead for the Diggers. Just underway. Here in the second half from Butte.
Collins was a youngster on those Trace Tinkle teams at Hellgate.
Jovan gets rid of it, gets the assist. Andrew Cook with the bucket. And Jovan has not taken a shot here in the second half. They got to get others in the scoring column.
Well, so far they have.
Diallo gets free. Diallo spins in the paint. Short. And the Saints have it back. Shamrock with a left wing. Cook. Cook's going to drive. on Darius. Jovan. Picked up by Diallo.
Here comes the double.
Jovan leans in, doesn't get the bounce.
Not the best possession there for Carroll on that one.
England on the boards, and Jason, these two teams are not moving quite as quickly as we've seen in the first half.
No, things have definitely settled down. But
Caleb Bellish with the dunk. How do you stop that?
You don't. Plain and simple.
And that's going to be possible play of the game. Temple, Jovan, double team. Shamrock with the three. And great job blocking out.
Well, that's one thing you want if you're Carroll. The ball movement from the inside to the out, get the three looks. They've had them, just now you got to start knocking them down.
And Diallo works inside. Darius Collins with the three. It's a 14-point game. Coach Paulson wants to talk about it. 48-34. Diggers out on top here.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. Meet new friends or reconnect with some old ones and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Step into the new with a new Chevy. Very well qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy vehicles, or current competitive owners get $2,000 total value on this Silverado. See your Montana Chevy dealers.
Out here, we love our animals, from the wildlife to the livestock. Inside, it's the same. They're just like family. We keep them happy and healthy, most of the time. Secondhand smoke puts pets at risk for cancer, feline lymphoma, vomiting, increases the risk of tumors and lung cancer, even causes eye and skin disease. Secondhand smoke puts your pet's life at risk.
The Diggers, 16 of 29. Caleb Bellish with the dunk. Notice how everybody just parted the sea for him. And,
they did, yeah.
Who's going to get in front of that? Wow.
Well, Carroll's got to figure some things out, and I mentioned at the start of the half, yeah, offense is important, but they've got to get some defensive stops because trading baskets is not going to do any good.
21 games this season. Carroll College is 19-2. They lost by 5 to Rocky. They lost by 2 to Arizona Christian. So they're basically 7 points away from having a perfect season. Hillman. Chan with a down low. Pops it back out to Long. Three-pointer on the way. Short. Rebound fought for, and Tech has it, and a whistle and a foul, and that's going to go against the Diggers.
Yeah, Darius Collins got a little handsy as Campbell and Chan were fighting for the rebound. Collins from behind. Or rather, Taylor England, I'm sorry.
Carroll needs to take a timeout, unable to get the ball on the inbounds. The Saints have won their last 3 games. On to the Tech, they've won their last 4 games. Tech 9-1 here at home when these two teams met January 6th in Helena. Carroll won 80-78. Jovan with a double-double, 22 points and 10 rebounds, and Shamrock Campbell with 16 points in the contest. So I'd like to thank our Frontier Conference corporate sponsors this season. They include Cooper Tire, Tire-Rama, D.A. Davidson, Hotels, McDonald's, Northwestern Energy, Pepsi, and U.S. Bank. 14-point lead for Tech. You got to wonder, Jason, have the Saints ever been down in the second half this season by as many as 14?
No, they have not. I'm feeling pretty confident about that.
Big crowd here at the Hyper Complex in a women's game. Carroll won it 64-27, 25 points from Danny Wagner. She was 5 of 8 on threes, 10 of 13 from the field. The Carroll women, the 6th-ranked team of the nation now, 18-4 on the year, 6-2 in the Frontier Conference. Carroll on the inbounds. Chan getting some playing time today.
Both the Saints men and women ranked 6th in the country. Collins from behind.
Darius Collins with the foul. 2 fouls on Tech here in this second half. None on Carroll College.
Carroll only has 1 timeout remaining. I just noticed that.
Jovan with it up on top. Jovan has not scored here in the second half. Long on the drive, and a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Tech. So 3 fouls on Tech in the second half. And
that's Collins' 4th overall.
Camden Laurent, 6'3" freshman of Missoula Hellgate, will come back in the game. Pedra getting set on to get a bounce. He can launch some threes. He's only shooting 70% from long range this year. Slovakinen's going to back his way in. Jovan gets rid of it. Shamrock will drive. Great defense by Tech.
Fantastic.
Sham drives the baseline, offensive charge. We're going back the other way. I mean, Tech's having one of their best games all year, no question about it. Checking out the offensive charge by Lowell Sham. Diggers will bring it up. England picked up by Chan. Diallo works inside the paint. Diallo is fouled, and
there's been some ticky-tack ones called here lately.
They're calling them tight, aren't they?
It's gotten tighter too, and it's called equal on both sides. But yeah, a couple of ticky-tack ones there. 1 on Campbell, 1 on Darius Collins, his last one.
2 fouls on Carroll, 3 on Tech. Caleb Bellish with that big dunk here in the second half. Bellish with the deep 3, short. Rebound, Shamrock Campbell. Every possession's big for Carroll when you're down by 14.
Now you got to stop. Now you got to get points.
Jovan backs his way in. Diallo, now he's double teamed. Jovan in trouble. Gets rid of it, slapped out, loose ball run down by Chan. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Pedra to Long, Long lost it. Another defensive stop, and coast to coast goes Laurent, taken away by Pedra.
Yeah, he got a little out of control and didn't know what to do with it and ended up tossing it away.
Garrett Long for the Saints. Jovan, 19 points, 9 rebounds in the first half, has not even attempted a shot here in the second half. Jovan crossover, yes. Jovan Slovakinen with 21 points in the game. His career high, well, his season high this year, 27. He's done that twice, including on Thursday. He's also had 2 26-point games. He's averaging 20 points a game on the season. Diallo, Bellish, Laurent dumps it down low. England almost lost it. 6 on the shot clock. Bellish drives in, and Caleb Bellish draws the foul. One of those unique players that can drive pretty much whenever he wants.
Yeah, he's pretty talented. It's a pretty talented family, too. Look at the drive there. I mean, they're calling it tight, but I think that this last couple of fouls have been pretty, on both sides, have been a little too tight. At some point, you got to let the kids just play the game. But great officials out there, no doubt about it.
Bellish gets the free throw to go. He's got 9. Diallo leads the team with 11 points in the contest. And Bellish gets them both. Diggers are back up by 14. Well, no question the Saints are needing Okeke, who's not in the lineup in this one. Pedra on the baseline. Pedra gets free. Count. the basket, and Pedro out of Brazil, a chance for a three-point play here.
Well, and
I count that as a 2, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was just a nice play, and that's what I like about the overseas players, and I know he's from Brazil, but a lot of that finesse, and, you know, he was good with Jovan Slovančanin's good with it too, the ball faking, and then sometimes you get yourself a shot, and that's what Guy did there, and he's got a chance to convert the three-point plays. Jaden Lieberg checks in for the first time.
And Pedro's going to bang that one home.
Now you get a defensive stop.
Banks going to push it up.
And if you're Tech, just keep doing what you've been doing.
Christian Jones back in. He scored 5 quick points late in that first half. Lawrence, wow. Back up by 13. Shamrock Campbell. Lieberg, Cook, and Jovan is out. Shamrock from the line. Caleb Bellish with another rebound. Bellish with 5 rebounds, 11 points in this one. He's had a nice game. Bellish, Jones for 3, short. He put up a lot of threes in Laurel. Shamrock Campbell on the rebound. Shamrock, Cook. Pedro, he comes in and he's yet to put up a 3, and that's his shot. Pedro misses the drive. And Baumstart, the 6'8 senior out of Sheridan, Wyoming, on the rebound. Baumstart is going to back his way in on Temple. Wow, he made that look easy.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
The lead, 15.
Wow.
54-39, Tech.
And
taken away. Diggers on the steal. Christian Jones goes down and he's fouled. Both teams come in 6-1 on the year. No, you're right about Tech. They will be nationally ranked.
Oh, yeah, they have
this
to.
week.
Yeah, that new poll comes out next Wednesday. And
Christian Jones on the steal, and Jones back the other way is fouled. Both teams with 4 fouls, 11:35 left to be played in the first half. Diggers have their biggest lead of the contest. They're out on top by 15.
Don't be surprised if Tech jumps into the top 20. Carroll ranks 6th now. They'll stay in the top 10 with a loss today if it happens.
Ure is back in. Lawrence. Diallo kicks it out. Ure with the 3. No, and they used all of that 30-second shot clock and got the offensive rebound. Lawrence drives baseline, throws it up. No.
Yeah, that was
Cook
wild.
Quickly back. They've got numbers. Jovan with the layup, and it's going to be an offensive charge against Andrew Cook. And Coach Paulson will take a timeout. Cook leads the break, gave it up late to Jovan. It's a 15-point lead for Tech. 11 minutes left to go here in this one.
I got some new flies and a rod for my birthday, so we're gonna take the boat and float a different stretch of the river tomorrow. I checked, and there are no overhead power lines in that area, so I'll be able to cast for miles. But here, that's a different story. With Northwestern's power poles and lines just over there, we stay at least 10 feet away and only handle the outdoor chores on this side of the house. Which means I get to spend more time casting lines while the professionals work around them.
I think there's more than one thing that makes Montana Tech unique.
I think it's incredible. It's special.
I've always kind of thrived off the adventure side of things and the unknown. There's no place I'd rather be going to school.
Montana Tech has provided me more than I ever could have expected.
Montana Tech made me a trailblazer.
Montana Tech made me a healer.
Montana Tech is my solution.
Be the solution. Visit Montana Tech today.
Carroll College has won the last 4 games in this series. They've won 18 of the last 23, but the Diggers out on top by 15 here. 54-39. Carroll, the 6th-ranked team in the nation, comes in 19-2 on the year. Both these teams tied with the Frontier Conference lead at 6-1. But boy, Tech's looking good on both ends.
Yeah, they definitely do, and it's their defense. I mean, yeah, they're putting up points in a variety of ways, but their defense has been very impressive.
Lawrence takes it down low, wide open 3 on the way. Bake's not going to get it to drop, and
Sindhu Diallo down.
Diallo went down, and he went down hard, and Diallo's in a lot of pain here.
Well, him and Jaden Lieberg bumped heads. And
barely got to see it there on that Pepsi replay, and maybe we can see it again from a different angle. 10 minutes and 46 seconds. Diallo on his feet here. 54-39 our score, and this is a different look. Diallo hit
a little late, but
the deck hard. Wow.
They hit together. Jaden Lieberg, you know, a great story about him. He came from Helena Homeschool and has been just a gritty player for Carroll. His Aunt Heather is one of the greatest marathoners and one of the greatest runners.
Wow.
She qualified for the Olympic trials a couple of times. She owns the Governor's Cup. She owns almost every record there. 3K, 5K, half mile, and mile.
Now, was that targeting? Does Lieberg have to go out?
No.
They don't have that in basketball yet, do they?
Not yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not coming soon, though. I'm not sure what the... Well, they call a foul on Lieberg.
6 fouls on Carroll, 4 on Tech. We're midway through the second half here in Butte. Coach Kurt Paulson, head coach at Carroll College, not a lot of losses in his 4 seasons. 92 wins, just 27 losses. He's swinging around, almost taken away. You're down low, pump start. Wow.
He took that ball away from two Carroll College Saints.
And a bump start, having a nice game. 17-point lead. 10:22 left. Temple with it up on top. Lieberg can't seem to get open. And on the drive off the glass it in, Johnny Hillman. And how big was that bucket?
That was huge.
Wow.
He's done that a couple of times. He needs to do it more.
10-minute mark. Second half. Lawrence, Bumstark. I thought that was going to be alley-oop. Gets it, no. Saves it. Bumstark tips it out. You're with the 3, no. And Lieberg crashes the boards. Cook will bring it up. Carroll down 15, and boy, what a job defensively they've done on Jovan. Here in the second half, and Jovan puts up the 3. It's short.
Well, if you're Carroll's offense there, I mean, yeah, you got to move. 4 people stood around watching to see what Jovan Slovanchina was going to do.
He's got some tired legs right now. Bake, picked up by Temple. Lawrence gets rid of it. Another long possession for the Diggers. Bake for 3. Wow. Bake comes into the game averaging 7 points a contest. He's got 9. And the lead is 18. 59-41. 8:49 left to be played. Can Carroll answer? Jovan's going to back his way in. Great pass to Temple.
That's what I've been
the finish.
Talking about for quite some time. Is they need, when Jovan needs to recognize the double team coming, find the open guy. And they got it done there.
Great pass. Jovan down low to a wide open Bernard Temple. It is a 16-point lead for the Montana Tech Oredigers.
This is Mountain Dew. A rush of crisp and refreshing flavor. Delivering a bold citrus kick. Do to do.
At Opportunity Bank, we've been around for a while. 100 years, in fact. And in that time, we've weathered some storms, seen some changes. And while that's no small feat, we don't measure success in time. We measure it by the impact we've made. We measure it by the success of the families, communities, and businesses we've served. After all, to us, there's no better investment than the people of Montana. Here's to the next 100 years.
Sandwiches, better with Pepsi.
Jason Walker, you and I have seen thousands of games. 16-point lead, 8.5 to go. It's not over yet.
No, it definitely isn't. And, you know, anything can happen. Nice to see Diallo back in there. But anything can happen if Carroll can get some stops. And they switch to a full-court defense here in a little 2-1-2. Try to slow down Tech a little bit.
Tech has done a great job on both ends.
Oh, it's one of the best games I've seen from Tech in 8 years overall.
England on the baseline. Look at that. Shot clock down to 5 again. Hughes with the runner. No. And Jovan, and that is his 11th rebound to go with his 21 points. But, boy, he has been quiet in the second half. Jovan didn't get that one to go, but he saved the rebound.
Well, he's had to do so much on the offensive end, fighting through double and triple teams, and then on the defensive end, too. But he needs help offensively. Somebody else for Carroll. Nice backdoor move by Hillman.
Jovan, Hillman. And shot clock down to 4. Jovan with the 3, no. They fight for it. Jovan's got the rebound. Jovan spins, gives it up late to Chan, and Chan is fouled.
Well, I tell you what, Chan deserves to shoot a couple of free throws here because he's the one that kept it alive on back-to-back missed shots. An offensive rebound and then that tip that went right into Slavanchin's hands. But Chan fighting hard there, and well, he's not going to go to the line, but give him credit for keeping this possession alive for the Saints.
Hillman, inbounds, Chan. Johnny Hillman, Jovan. Diallo and Jovan, boy, what a matchup that's been. Chan, all the way, jumper is in.
He deserved that. That was a great call to get him the ball. 15-foot jumper.
The lead is 14 for Tech. Caleb Bellish, 3-on-2. They throw it away. 7:04 left to go in this one. The winner of this game moves into sole possession of first place in the Frontier Conference standings.
And they'd be tied at a win apiece if you look at that tiebreaker down the road. So whoever would win the third game, we're a long way from that. We're a long way from this one being over. Oh, great move by Hillman.
Oh, Hillman. Oh, didn't get the finish. Chan had the rebound, gets it slapped out.
Wow.
That would have been spectacular. And that's a Tech fan that did not agree with the call.
So these two teams will play February 10th at Helena in the third to last conference game of the season. So
Shamrock with a floater.
He needs to do that more.
Well, the 19-point lead is cut to 12 with 6.5 left to be played. A lot of time left in this one. And there's the whistle, and the foul is going to go against Carroll College. That's 7 on Carroll, 5 on Tech. And they're going to the free throw line. It's going to be Caleb Bellish. Bellish is 4 for 4, leads his team with 11 points in the game. He also has 5 rebounds. He had one spectacular dunk here in the second half, and Bellish gets that one to go. Caleb Bellish is 73% free throw shooter on the season, gets them both to go. And the Diggers are back up by 14 here.
Yeah, this is a great defensive effort by Montana Tech today for sure.
Shamrock will drive. Shamrock kicks it out late. Chan with the 3, no. Chan gets his own rebound off the missed 3.
Well, shooters should know where the ball's going to go.
Jovan with the bucket. Jovan's got 23 points and 12 rebounds. He had 19 and 9 at halftime. 19 of his team's 30 points at the break. Diallo back in. Diallo is fouled, and Diallo to the free throw line for 2.
Here's an interesting couple of things here. Each team has made 20 shots. Each team today has made 20 baskets. Tech, 7 threes. Carroll just 2. Tech a 7-point advantage also on the free throw line, but Carroll's shooting 37% overall. Montana Tech at 47.6%. There's your key difference. Carroll's getting shots. They're just not, they're contested and they're not knocking them down.
What are the chances these two teams will meet in that Frontier Conference Championship?
I'd say really, really good. if you were a betting man. Of course, we're here for entertainment purposes only.
Same week as the state basketball tournaments, but at least we have those games on Monday and Tuesday. Shamrock kicks it back out to Long.
You know, the big thing between these two and with today with Tech, you know, dominating the way they have, is that matchup on February 10th is a nice move by Jovan. But that matchup on February 10th, Rocky, could be for home court advantage in, you know, who's get the 1 seed, who gets the 2 seed. That's how big this game is for Montana Tech.
And how big is home court, you know, not just in the Frontier, but in college basketball period.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge.
Well, and the way, you know, the Tech men are playing right now, look at this crowd. You want to be here. It's just like at Carroll. You've done Rocky games. I mean, you get that student section at a Rocky game. Holy cow. Providence is decent. Northern is crazy.
Boy, if this place hosts the Frontier Conference men, it'd be unbelievable.
Oh, Western, you know, Dillon's got a good facility.
Jovan worked hard to try to get the rebound, unable to do so. 14-point lead for Tech with 4 minutes and 42 seconds left to be played in this game. The Carroll women defeated Montana Tech 64-57, 25 points from Danny Whitener. She was 10 of 13 for the field, of 5 of 8 in the contest on threes. Diallo will bring it up. 4.5 to go. Diallo bounce pass down low. England reverse, no. And he draws the foul. Boy, Jovan's tired.
Yeah, he is. He's left it all out there. There's no doubt about that.
It's an honor to be on the Bevo Francis watch list as one of the top NAIA players in the nation and a finalist for the National Player of the Year. England at the free throw line, no. 4.5 left to be played in this one. They have 12 on the bench. Tech suited out 17 this afternoon. Wow.
I don't know how that's, how can you do that?
Well, they did.
I thought you were only supposed to dress 15. Huh.
You can do what you want.
Well, you're at home. Who knows? They're all wearing masks, right? Then you can't see them if they're wearing masks.
Cook, Temple, Shamrock. Jovan backs his way in. Somebody else has to be open. He finds Shamrock Campbell. Shamrock holds up with a fall away. Air ball saved by Jovan, but he was out of bounds.
Shamrock Campbell, 2 of 9 from the field. I mean, you look at the Saints, I mentioned it. They're under 36% from the field.
20 of 56. They're only 2 of 15 on threes. Tech 7 of 17.
But even that shot gets contested. You know, Campbell tried to get a little separation.
Darius Collins gets it out to Hughes. And the clock, a big advantage now for the Orediggers as they try to improve to 18-5 on the year, an all-important 7-1 on the Frontier. Diallo, remember he was hurt not all that long ago and comes off the bench and scores. 17-point lead. Jovan Shalakinen drives inside and gets fouled. So Jovan to the free throw line here. 66-49.
You know, it's funny, Rocky. We talked a little bit about the games before we came on the air today, and we thought, you know, the women's game is Collins fouls out. Women's game we didn't think would be as close as it was, and that turned out to be a fantastic basketball game. And we thought this was going to be a lot closer.
Exactly.
And really, it's opposite of what we thought was going to happen today.
Exactly. That's what I told my driver, Steve Herbert. I said the women's game might not be close, but the men's game is going to be fantastic.
It has been completely. That's why we do what we do, because
it's
we
it's not often. You know, it happens all the time that I'm wrong. I mean, ask my wife. Jason.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. I feel you.
Jovan, 23 points in the game, and he's got to be a finalist for the Frontier Conference Player of the Week. 27 on Thursday in a big game here on Saturday here in Butte.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, though, if Carroll loses this one. They usually don't like to give it to a team that has lost.
Fewest points scored by Carroll this year, 53, and a 53-50 win over Corbin. They're probably going to have more than 53 in this one. Oh! Diallo with the baseline dunk, and that may have been more impressive than the dunk by Bellish. And look at Jovan working hard, and Jovan is going to get 2 shots, and Diallo is going to limp off, but wow. Let's watch this again.
Yeah, I think
Diallo drives the baseline, goes up and jams it over the top of Temple. Unbelievable. And Jovan Slakanen trying to drive the basketball out. 3:02 left in this one. A 17-point lead. Jovan Slakanen, 5 of 8 from the free throw line. And 25 points in a game. And this is going to be the 5th time this season that Jovan has scored 25 or more. The leading scorer in the Frontier Conference and a finalist for the National NEIA Player of the Year. What a huge, huge game for Tech. And they say that was slapped into the backcourt. And Bakes having all kinds of trouble, and they're forced to take a timeout here. 2:45 to go in this one. The Diggers out on top big, 68-52. Montana Tech 9-1 here at home at the Hyper Complex. And they lead by 16 late here. I'd like to thank our network affiliates for the day's game. SWX in Billings, Bozeman, Butte, Great Falls, Helena, Kalispell, Missoula, Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, the Tri-Cities, and Yakima, Washington. We're happy to have you enjoying this game with us.
Montana Tech's going to improve to 7-1 on Saturdays. Just throwing that out there.
And what's Tech's win-loss record when the temperature is below 25?
Well, that I don't have, but it was warm today. It was I almost didn't need a jacket between the parking lot and the Hyper Complex. They'll also be 10-2 when leading at the half. Good defense by Temple there.
So what's more impressive, Tech's offense or defense today? I would have to say their defense has been just spectacular.
Yeah, 100%. And it seems like every time you and I call a game, whether it's basketball or football, it's the defense that's winning the battles. And it's amazing how accurate, that usually comes out to be. The better team defensively will usually win a ball game.
And I'm one of the guys that love offense.
Wow, that started really late. I love me some offense too, but it's been impressive watching this Tech defense.
Shamrock 219. Diallo almost had the steal. You want to talk offense, Jason Walker. A couple of years ago, the season that Lodgegrass won the Class B championship and Hardin won the A championship. I got to experience my first Hardin Lodgegrass game in Lodgegrass blur ball at its best. Lodgegrass won 112-92 in 32 minutes. 112-92. The highlight for me was when Larry Purdyweasel, the Hardin legend, came up and thanked me for going to the game.
That's awesome. Well, you remember those days back in the the running Rangers of Tom Furch with Crowell and Shin, and the fighting games that they'd have with Browning or Hardin getting up and down the floor. Oh, those were fun.
104-102 in the state tournament with Shan. The first state championship game I ever announced was the 83 state championship. Livingston got by Deer Lodge 104-64, and Carroll Furch with 45 points in that championship game.
He might be the best leaper.
That's without the shot clock.
Yeah.
Scoring 104
and the three-point
points. And without the three-point shot as well. We got a timeout, 2:15 left, 68-54. Well, the high schools did recently adopt the shot clock, and baseball. We're one of just 4 states that do not have high school baseball. But, I've been hoping for a shot clock for a long, long time. We're going to get that 35-second shot clock. Scoring in all 4 classifications have been down considerably, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Well, I talked to a couple of coaches up in Helena on the high school side. Katie Garson-Forbes, the Capital Girls coach, who won a couple of state titles recently. But she was part of the committee that wrote the proposal to get it done. And she said of all the film they watched over the summer in the last couple of years to get this proposal through, there was only 2 instances in all of the high school games where a shot clock violation would have happened.
Wow.
If you play the game, without the stall effort, obviously. But, so you're not going to see many violations.
No.
I think it's a great thing, and we're going to see how good. Now coaches have to get better, too, because they've got to strategize the end of shot clocks, the end of quarters, and it also makes your 4th or 5th or even your 6th option on the team a better player because it might come down to them at the end of a shot clock. So I think it's a great thing for high school basketball, state of Montana.
14-point game with 2:15 left.
But you mentioned Lodgegrass. How good is Damon Grovant?
He's been over 40 like 4 times this year. He's averaging 33 points a game in high school basketball, and that's just unbelievable.
Journey Emerson, the other one that's putting some points up.
Well, how about Taylor Harris from Lockwood last night? The freshman scored 42 points in a varsity game. KG Grossman from West High had 32 points and 17 rebounds as West High stays unbeaten. They won at the buzzer over Skyview. They came back and won that game. I love high school girls basketball.
Oh,
it's
awesome. I called the State A last year, and like I said, that championship game between Havre and Billings Central was probably one of the top 3 games I've ever called in my life. And not because of me. It was
the only double overtime Class A championship, and Maya Hansen goes off for 35 for Central, and they lose. In the first game, the second game this year, Maya had 34 against Havre. And down low, working hard is Temple. He got a 13-point game with a minute 43
and you wonder
left
where
to be played in this one.
All afternoon.
And watch Tech take off some of that shot clock, 20 on the shot clock.
Well, how about Velich, alma mater, Manhattan Christian, both the boys and girls undefeated again. And I think I get to call that State C tournament up in Great Falls championships this year. So that'll be fun on the boys and girls side. There's just great basketball across the state of Montana from border to border, top to bottom, east to west.
Diallo at the free throw line. Well, Jason, what's more impressive to you tonight? Diallo's baseline dunk or Caleb Bellish, who went right down the middle with his jam?
I got to go with Sindhu Diallo. I mean, he went baseline. He had 2 guys on him, and that's hard to do. Bellish was nice, but it was wide open.
You're right.
He got through his double team at the 3-point line. He was open to the hoop. Diallo had to work for his. And the way he elevated, and he went up 2-handed.
And that's after he was hurt.
Yeah, cramped up.
Jovan can't get to finish. England on the rebound. And
Diallo
is cramping up again. 67 seconds left to be played. 71-56 our score. The lead is 15. How about a young man who's going to put on the colors of Carroll College next season, Braden Cook, Helena Capital. He's one of the leading scorers in AA this year, averaging 25 points a game. And last week he had a game where Cook had 7 dunks in one game. and then there's Bozeman. Bozeman this year had games with 11 threes, 16 threes, 14 threes. They're averaging 10 made threes a game. It reminds me of that great Bozeman team of 2003, one of the greatest teams I've ever seen. Twice that season, Jason, they had the rarest of stats. 10 threes, 10 dunks in a high school game. They did that twice.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable team that won the state championship that year. It was CMR, is that where it was?
P.J. Owsley, he was on that team. They were just phenomenal. Well, coming out, hopefully this year, my first and only book, Rocky's Top 10 greatest teams, top 10 greatest players, best games, and, of course, top 10 stories.
Do I get an autographed copy?
You'll be mentioned in the book as one of my top 10 color commentators.
But do I get an autographed copy?
Of course you do. If you put me on your show.
I put you on anytime you want. Anytime.
What a win.
Yeah, this is
for the Diggers.
This was a dominating performance.
Very impressive. They're going to be the top team all by themselves on the Frontier Conference at 7-1.
Well, you think back, it was tied at 5, Rocky, early in this game. And then after that, it was all Montana Tech, aside from Jovan Slovanc in its first half. But give all the credit to Adam Hyatt and his coaching staff. He had his team fired up, ready to play. Carroll shorthanded. Let's not forget that. But nice move there. James Lang, freshman out of Portland. But this was all Tech. Tech won this game. There's no question about it.
Tech goes 10-1 at home, and it would not be all that surprising if these two teams hook up in that Frontier Conference championship game that
I think
we will be courtside for.
I think we can look forward to that, although Providence may have to say something in that.
Well, Brendan Howard.
Brendan Howard's back. The Rocky men, don't count them out.
They got by Carroll, upset the Saints.
MSU Northern can beat anybody. I mean, Sean Hughes is a great coach up there on the high line, and you never know what's going to happen down in Dillon with Western. I mean, Mike Larson's gotten, his third year now or so, and, he's starting to get some players playing well down there.
A lot of new players in both ways, and Lieberg misses on the 3, and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
And the Diggers are going to win, and they are going to win big.
Yeah, Montana Tech absolutely won this game on both sides of the floor.
How about 42 points in the second half for the Diggers? They won it by 15, 73-58, and Montana Tech all by themselves in first place in the Frontier Conference at 7-1.
Out here, we love our animals, from the wildlife to the livestock. Inside, it's the same. They're just like family. We keep them happy and healthy, most of the time. Secondhand smoke puts pets at risk for cancer, feline lymphoma, vomiting, increases the risk of tumors and lung cancer, even causes eye and skin disease. Secondhand smoke puts your pet's life at risk.
Grit's something that I learned early in my family. It was a great part of the Montana Tech experience.
Grit makes me think about how Butte came about. It was built on the hard work mentality.
It goes back to just being a Montanan. There's a rancher or a farmer in everybody's family.
Grit is just part of life there.
Rolling up your sleeves and doing the work necessary.
And that's where grit comes in. Understanding where you want to do and really following the passion that you have in life.
Grit grows at Montana Tech.
This uniform symbolizes living up to a higher standard. To the Army National Guard soldier, earning it represents a commitment to a nearly 4th-century tradition of vigilance. To don this uniform in the Army National Guard is to be a guardian of freedom in the American way of life. Join us in a timeless tradition of selfless service at NationalGuard.com.
Well, we no longer have a tie in the Frontier Conference. And there's our player of the game, Diallo.
Yeah,
and Diallo, that was right before the half ended. Diallo with 19 points in the contest, and he was spectacular. His baseline dunk was unbelievable. He was 5 of 10 for the field, 8 of 8, and there's his baseline jam for Diallo, and that is our player of the game. Diallo with 19 points in the contest and a big, big win for the Diggers of Montana Tech, and the play of the game. And Caleb Bellish with the one-handed jam, the transfer out of Montana State. And Caleb Bellish with 13 points in the contest. He had 5 rebounds in a losing effort. Jovan Svalakinen with 19 points at the break. He had 26 points in the game, and he had 13 rebounds in the contest, but Jovan could not do it on his own. So a big, big win for Tech. We're going to take a break, come back, wrap things up, and the Diggers come on top of Carroll 73-58. Be back with more right after this.
At Wayland Tire, it's service first, quality always. Performance, pride, and passion. 3 things that define the rich legacy of
in the American way of life. Join us in a timeless tradition of selfless service at NationalGuard.com.
At Wayland Tire, it's service first, quality always. Performance, pride, and passion. 3 things that define the rich legacy of BF Goodrich Tires and the lasting partnership that we've shared over the years. Like the ever-popular BF Goodrich KO2 tire and all the Advantage TA line of tires, stop in and talk to your local performance experts at Wayland Tire and get set up with the right type of tires from the company that invented performance, BF Goodrich.
Wayland Tire. We know tires.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. Meet new friends or reconnect with some old ones and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Step into the new with a new Chevy. Very well qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy vehicles, or current competitive owners get $2,000 total value on this Silverado. See your Montana Chevy dealers.
Carroll College came into this game 19-2. Their 2 losses by 2 points and 5 points. Tech wins by 15, home court advantage. How big is that going to be?
It's going to be huge, and now each team has 1 win against each other, and that February 10th game in Helena could be for the number 1 seed overall in the conference tournament. There's got a lot of basketball still to play, a lot of great Frontier teams that both these teams still have to play, but it's going to be very interesting. A couple of key things that stood out to me, Rocky. Carroll shooting just 36%, Tech at 47%, and points off turnovers were pretty big too, and that's a missed statistic a lot of times. But at the end of the day, Tech's defense from the tip was ready to go, and so was their offense. But I'm impressed with that defense. Adam Hyatt's got the players he wants after 6 years on the job, and they're doing it the way he wants it done.
An impressive win for Montana Tech as they move into first place in the Frontier for Jason Walker, Rocky Erickson from Butte. The Diggers win over the Saints 73-58.
Since before the birth of America, the Army National Guard has stood ready to answer the call to defend and protect the nation. Army National Guard soldiers share in an enduring commitment to serve their state in times of crisis and defend their nation in times of conflict. The men and women of the Army National Guard serve part-time in their own communities and have a stake in its continued security. To learn all about